All right, let's talk about something you think you know, the grape. And I'm here to tell you that pretty much everything you assume about this fruit is completely and utterly wrong. Because it was never just a snack, it was a tool for survival.
I mean, of course you do. It's an easy mistake to make, right? They're sweet, they're simple, you see them in the grocery store, you think, oh, perfect for the kid's lunchbox.
Yeah, no, that's not why we spent thousands of years cultivating it. It wasn't about the flavor. It was about fermentation. It was about staying alive.
To really get this, you have to imagine a world that is, well, it's totally alien to us now. A world where the single most important thing for life was also one of its greatest threats.
You see, for the vast majority of human history, finding clean, safe water was a total long shot. The local river, the village well, these were basically breeding grounds for diseases that could kill you and everyone you knew.
So this was the choice people faced every single day. On one side, you've got water that's teeming with deadly bacteria. A single gulp could literally wipe out a town. And on the other side, you've got wine, a stable, safe, bacteria-free liquid. This wasn't a luxury, you understand. It was the only reliable way to stay hydrated.
So how did this even work? How did a simple fruit become a life-saving water filter? Well, the magic wasn't really in the grape itself. It was all about the process.
The real secret here is fermentation. When you let grape juice ferment, the process itself naturally kills off all those nasty waterborne pathogens. It was, for all intents and purposes, nature's own water purification system.
And let me be perfectly clear about how critical this was. It was so fundamental to survival that when clean water wasn't around, even children were given diluted wine. Nobody was trying to get a buzz, they were just trying to not die of dehydration.
And this wasn't some random fluke. The grape was pulling off a brilliant biological survival hack, kind of like other plants do. You've got bitter melon that mimics insulin, or aloe vera using bitter compounds to keep from being eaten. The grape, it used fermentation to make itself absolutely indispensable to us.
So, seriously, put yourself in their shoes for a second. Your only water source is basically a game of Russian roulette. What do? It's not really a choice, is it?
Our ancestors weren't just farmers, They were more like ancient bioengineers. They specifically bred grapes to have thick, tough skins. Not for shipping, but because it made them perfect for crushing and fermenting. They literally engineered the grape into an industrial-grade liquid filter.
Okay, so the grape solves the not dying from your water problem. But the story gets so much bigger than that. It didn't just save individual lives. It literally built empires. Just think about it from a trade perspective. You've got a product that doesn't spoil, is easy to ship, and is needed by every single person to stay alive. That's not just a product, that's the perfect currency.
And that put wine in a completely different league. Sure, cacao seeds were used as local money, and cinnamon was as valuable as gold. But wine was the economic engine that powered the entire Mediterranean world. It was the original global trade commodity.
It all boiled down to a very simple truth. If you controlled the wine supply, you controlled a safe water supply. And that didn't just give you wealth, it gave you geopolitical power.
So how did we get from that to us? How did we forget all of this? It's because the version of the grape you know today, it's a modern invention, a lie.
Every time you see a bunch of grapes sitting in a fruit bowl and you think, oh, what a nice healthy snack, you're participating in a collective delusion, a rebranding campaign so successful it erased thousands of years of history.
And look, this kind of thing happens all the time. We took the portobello mushroom, which was basically animal feed, and we rebranded it as a vegetarian steak for fancy restaurants. We literally invented the butternut squash about 100 years ago, and we took the grape, a high-stakes survival tool, and turned it into a sugary treat. I mean, just look at the difference. It's staggering. We went from an industrial liquid filter, a global currency, a tool for human survival, to a countertop decoration, a simple fruit.
It's genuinely absurd when you stop and think about it. We took a biological lifesaver that shaped the course of human civilization, and we repackaged it as a cheap snack you buy by the pound.
So a fruit that literally replaced water for most of human history is now just a decoration in your kitchen? Now that's absolutely wild.